Alton Towers has had a total of 18 roller coasters since it started operating as a theme park in 1980, but I bet you can't remember them all, so let's go over them, starting with their first ever roller coaster. Opening in 1980 was the Corkscrew. This coaster operated for 28 years before closing down and was the ride which put Alton Towers on the map. So to commemorate this special roller coaster, the iconic double corkscrews were removed and placed at the entrance plaza for all guests to see. Next was Minneapolis in 1982. This was a family wacky worm coaster operating until 1997, before moving to Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach where it can still be found operating today. Beastie is next. A coaster which was also known as Dragon and Mini Dragon was another family wacky worm coaster which was relocated to Barry Island Pleasure Park where it can still be found operating today. Now their next big thrill coaster, the Black Hole. This was a well-known loved attraction at the resort. It was totally indoors and in the pitch black. It stood standing but not operating from 2006 before it was sold to a Swedish theme park. Four-Man Bob is next, a coaster which had been relocated a total of 8 times, with Alton Towers being its third owner. It's still operating today under the name of Gold Rush at Family Park in France. Up next is the Alton Mouse. This classic loved wild mouse coaster only operated for 3 years at the park, although it's still operating today at an American amusement park under the name Wild Mouse. Next we have the much loved Thunder Looper. This launched Schwarzkopf coaster operated for 6 years in the Forbidden Valley, before closing and getting relocated where it still operates today in a Brazilian theme park. Rumour has it this coaster was so loud that the local farmers would complain that it would make the cows breed at weird times. No idea how, but funny nevertheless. New Beast is next, which was another Schwarzkopf coaster operating for 5 years until 1997. Since then it's been relocated twice and finished operating in 2017 at a Colombian theme park. In the same year we had the much loved and well-known Runaway Mine Train, which still operates today. This is the oldest coaster at the whole park, having operated there for an impressive 31 years. Moving forward a few years to 1994 and we have the much loved Nemesis. This John Wardley classic inverted roller coaster was the first of its kind in Europe. Costing a total of £10 million to build, this coaster only closed down in 2022 for a full retrack. 4 years on in 1998 we have Oblivion. This is the world's first revolutionary coaster of its type, the dive coaster, and funnily enough it has the world's shortest free running ride duration, only lasting a few seconds. Another 4 years on from that, in 2002 we have Air, better known as Galactica now. This ride was the world's first B&M flying coaster, once again designed by John Wardley. 2 years later and we have Spinball Whizzer, later renamed to Sonic Spinball during a partnership with Sega, but the name was soon changed back after this sponsorship ended. 1 year later, in the 2005 season, we saw the opening of Rita, Queen of Speed. This coaster had the fastest launch in Europe at the time of opening, hence the name Queen of Speed. However, the Queen of Speed part was removed in 2009, now just being known as Rita, after many much faster launch coasters opened. Moving 5 years on to 2010 and we have the opening of 13. This coaster had the world's first vertical drop track element, and it was said this ride would be so scary that riders would need to sign a waiver form before riding. This much loved John Wardley classic is still regarded as one of the park's best rides. In 2013 we saw the opening of the record smashing roller coaster, the Smiler. This coaster opened with 14 inversions, breaking the previous record of 10. To this day the Smiler has a massive fan base and is widely regarded as many people's favourite roller coaster of all time. Hold on to your hats as we head into 2015 with one of the scariest coasters on this list, Octonauts Roller Coaster Adventures. All jokes aside, this family coaster in Sea Beavers Land is a Fun Zamperla Jr. coaster, and it is the smallest coaster that Alton Towers currently has. Wicker Man is next, which opened in 2018 as the world's first coaster to feature wood and fire, and also the first wooden coaster in the UK for over 20 years. This is personally one of my favourite rides at the park, and I've ridden it close to 300 times. The ride is great, the theming is incredible, and it's all around a fantastic ride. Finally, we skip forwards to 2024 as Nemesis Reborn opens. Although people are undecided if it's classed as a totally separate roller coaster to Nemesis, it still had a total retrack and retheme, putting this as one of the best roller coasters the UK has to offer. And there we have it folks, every single roller coaster Alton Towers has ever had. Let me know in the comments how many you remembered, and don't forget to subscribe for more.